I don't know how well you can see. I'm going to give you a bit of a recipe for feed for your birds that is cheaper. I got this off actually a new relative that I met that I didn't know previously. A cousin once removed or something like that. Anyways, a bag of feed is about $17 from the co-op. It's your standard mash. It comes supplemented with calcium and whatever else, and has a certain percentage of protein. There is a cheaper way to do it, which I just learned from him. What you can do is buy a bag of oats. This is the last of my hog feed here. Take that one out. So you buy a bag of oats, which is about $10 or $12. You buy a bag of whole wheat. So there's whole oats, whole wheat, and that's about $12. And then you buy a bag of soybean meal. The soybean meal is about $30 a bag. The soybean meal is required to get the protein percentage up. The wheat and the oats have, I forget what it was, 10 or 12% protein, but the chickens need 15 to 19. That's kind of your standard protein percentage there. So the soybean meal is about 54, let's see what it takes us, 47% crude protein in there. So where John and Claire's are fighting and squawking. So what you do is you mix up your oats and your wheat 50-50, and so you get 2 bags worth of your regular feed for about half the price. And your soybean meal, you put a cup or two in with each mixture you're making to just bring the percentage protein up in your feed. Now these are whole grains, let's see. So this here is the wheat. Well, I'll get some out. This is the oats here. You can see the oats tag on it. I'll see if I can show you the mixing. So overall, even though the bag of soy meal, can you read that? Soybean meal, and you can see the mean protein is 47% there. So even though the soybean meal is 3 times, or not quite 3 times, 1.5 times the price of a regular bag, 3 times the cost of the wheat or the oats by themselves. You use a lot less of the soybean meal, so you go through a bag. I guess at that rate, you go through a bag once every number of months, depending on how many birds you got, of course. Overall, though, this should lower the cost of my feed. Maybe not quite 50%, maybe 30 or 40%, but that's a good number of dollars, especially when you're keeping a bunch of these birds. All right, I'll see if I can show you the mixing here. All right, I'm gonna get my garbage can here. This is my rodent-proof garbage can which I use, and I'm just gonna open the bags here and use a bucket full to get even amounts. Alright, let's see if you can see this. This is the wheat. There you go. Not the best in the low light, but anyways, that's the wheat. That is the whole grain. So I'm going to open up my oats now. And I'll show you that. Here's the oats, whole oats. A little bit longer than the wheat. Now what I'll do is I'll put equal buckets of wheat and oats in here. Now it doesn't matter if they're whole oats, whole intact, because chickens, birds, in nature, that's what they're eating. They're not getting anything that's dehulled or crushed. The birds will just take all this into their crop, and as long as they have grit, I have a bag of, this is my bag of poultry grit. It's just different sizes of gravel, basically. As long as they have the, oh sorry, I'm choking up on the dust here. As long as they have the grit in their crop, they're going to just grind it down. And that's what they do in nature, so not a whole lot of point to getting the mash anyways. So it does make it easier for them to digest it in one point, but so I just put about let's see, 5 bucketfuls each, something like that. I'm going to put I'm just going to try this. I'm going to put 1 bucketful of soybean in there, just to bring the percentage up. I'll have to mix it up. And I'm 3 for 3 for getting the soiling out. Perfect. I'll show you what the soybean meal looks like. Now this is mashed up. This is it's not a powder, but it's a fine mash. Much smaller than the other grains there. So let's see. Put one full bucket in there. Maybe I'll put 2 buckets in there, just to be safe. I mean, you can't have too much protein when it's winter time. Now I'll see if I can get in there with my hands and mix this up a little bit. The tricky part is going to be to get down into the bottom there. Maybe I'll use my fork here. Yeah, there's probably a better way to do this, but the soybean is a lot finer, so it should float on down through actually relatively easily with just a little bit of agitation here. There we go. So I'll try that. And if I see them having troubles, I'll just increase the soybean content there. There you go, that's a little bit thick on soybean actually there. The top needs to be mixed a bit better. Anyways, we'll try that.